If you had to pick just one exercise to do for the rest of your life, one exercise that would hit all of the major muscle groups in your body, it would be rowing. But if you had to pick one piece of equipment that would take up a ton of space in your home and be very expensive, it would be a rowing machine, up until now. This amazing, inexpensive rowing machine is the Yesoul R1M Plus, and it's quickly become my go-to piece of exercise gear, especially when I only have a couple of minutes to work out. See, most affordable rowing machines are really garbage. They have cheap parts, or they don't have a way to watch your favorite shows, or they don't fold up and so they take up your entire room. The R1M Plus solves all of these problems, and at just $500 as of the time of this video, it is a great solution for someone who's looking for a whole body exercise that you can do at home. Now, this video isn't sponsored, though the folks at Yesoul were nice enough to send it to me to test. I only do videos about gear that I've tested and would buy with my own money, and this is one of those products. One of the biggest selling points for this rowing machine is the built-in 21-inch screen. It's easy to set up, although I did have a couple of problems the first time I tried to get it working, but I'll get back to that. You don't stream to this monitor over Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. You simply plug in your phone to the USB cable or the lightning cable if you have an older phone, and the screen simply mirrors. Okay, so let me show you this. Here's the USB cable that comes with the machine. Here's me plugging into my phone, and here's one of my videos. It's only better than this clone, and it's not as good as these. So while you're working out, the screen overlays the stats for your workout, which you can see right up here in the corner. Sometimes cheap rowing machines just have a small LCD screen that shows things like strokes or speed, but this overlays all of the statistics on its built-in display. And here's another cool thing I found. I have an LG Smart TV upstairs from here, and it turns out that you can wirelessly show your workout to any smart TV. So if you don't want to use the 21-inch screen, you want to have a bigger TV in your exercise room, that's no problem. You can use that to show your progress instead of the built-in one. And since the machine folds up and is pretty portable, you could move it in front of your big TV when you want to watch a movie, and then move it back to your basement or your home gym or wherever you have it stored. Watch on the 21-inch screen most of the rest of the time. So the setup was generally easy. From opening the box to being ready to row took me about 30-45 minutes, and that included moving the parts around to install them, installing them in the right order, and just not rushing. Never rush when you're building something. The instructions are surprisingly straightforward for an inexpensive machine, and nothing about the assembly felt cheap or frustrating. Once it was assembled, the first thing I noticed was how compact it looks, and more importantly, it folds up nicely so you're not committing permanent floor space to a rowing machine. You could stick this machine in a studio or a one-bedroom apartment with absolutely no problem. The belt-driven resistance makes for a very quiet workout. That's a big deal if you're rowing early in the morning, late at night, or anywhere near other people. There's no harsh chain noise like a lot of the cheap machines have, no distracting clatter, just a smooth, consistent motion. It's quiet enough that watching TV or listening to music doesn't require cranking up the volume, which sounds like a minor point, but it makes a real difference in daily use, especially for a trainer that has a built-in display. With a rowing machine, you spend most of the time on the seat and with your feet here in the pads. It's a fine seat. It's not the most comfortable seat I've ever used, but it's also not bad. It's nicely squishy, which means it doesn't hurt my butt until I get to about an hour-long workout, and then my whole body hurts anyhow, so it's not a big problem. And it's no less comfortable than, rowing in an actual boat, which are not known to be particularly cozy. Okay, as you can see, all you have to do to mirror your screen is to plug it in, but for the first setup, and for some reason only the first setup, things got a little weird. The first time I tried to set it up, I could not get the display to mirror properly. Everything should have been working. You just plug in a cable, but it just wasn't cooperating. What finally solved the problem was unplugging the entire unit, waiting a minute, and plugging it back in, at which point I jokingly referred it to as rebooting the workout. When you turn on the display, there's two modes. One is a Bluetooth mode and one is a regular mode. Don't use the Bluetooth mode, just leave it on the regular mode. That's another thing that can cause a problem if you think for some reason you're going to be able to set this up to stream over Bluetooth. What I think really stands out to me most after using it for a while is how really approachable the R1 Plus is. And by that I mean if I want to do a quick workout between Zoom calls or I only have half an hour before I make dinner, it's not really intimidating. It doesn't demand a ton of setup time each session. I just get on it and I just start to use it. And if I want, I could just fold it away when I'm finished. Being so easy to use and so easy to fold up makes it more likely that I'm actually going to use it, which is ultimately the most important thing for home fitness equipment. So by comparison, over here I have a spin bike, and whenever I want to use a spin bike, I have to go and get my shoes for the spin bike pedals. I have to set the seat to a different height because my wife and I both use these. I have to make sure everything's set up, and then I can start working out. With a rowing machine, I just sit down and start pulling. Now, this isn't as beefy as the rowing machines of most of the gyms, and it's not as smooth, although it's very smooth. But there's a certain quality to some of the rowing machines you find in a gym that this doesn't quite have, But this is also $400 cheaper than any gym level machine I could find online, and it is thousands of dollars less than some of the top end machines. And at the end of the day, you're getting the same workout. The nice thing for me is that a short workout on a rowing machine still hits everything, so I don't have to worry if I should be working legs or arms in the 30 minutes I have between conference calls. And thanks to the built-in screen, sometimes I find myself doing much longer workouts than I anticipated. I came down here to do a 15-30 minute row the other day. I turned on a show. I got so engrossed in the show, I kept going for the full hour of the show. If you're looking for a rowing machine that doesn't dominate your house, doesn't wake everybody up, and doesn't require constant tinkering once it's set up, this is the machine for you. So let me know in the comments, are you shopping for a rowing machine? What's your budget? And if you have a rowing machine already, what rowing machine do you have and how often do you use it? Your electrician called. He's got some concerns about your wiring.
You'd better call me, but like and subscribe first.
For Dave Tries This, I'm David Schloss, and as always, thanks so much for giving this a try.